This is lesson 3.7. We're going to do some more difficult multi-step equations today, and this starts in your notes packet on page number 14. Up at the top here, you can see we still have this little phone, which reminds us of our steps. We still have not yet moved to the variable, so we're not with this step yet, so that one's just going to kind of get ignored. Anytime you see it, we want to distribute first, then combine our like terms, and then once we get those things done, it should look like a two-step equation, so we add and subtract, and then we go ahead and multiply and divide. We're going to get started with example number 1 here, drawing a line down my equal sign. My first step is to distribute, so I'm going to be distributing here with this 5, and be careful because it is a negative 5 that we're actually distributing. Out front, this negative 3x is just going to come down. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times 4 is a negative 20, which equals 20 then. Distribute, check, combine like terms. So I have negative 3x and negative 5x. Together they give me negative 8x, minus my constant 20, which is just equal to 20. So I'm going to add 20 to both sides. Those cancel out over here, bring down my negative 8x. 20 plus 20 is 40. Final step is to divide through by that negative 8, leaving the x all by itself, and 40 divided by a negative 8 is a negative 5 then. So you can see here why when we saw equations that just had distributive property in it, we could divide through by the number outside of the multiplication, the parentheses there, but in this case, we actually have to distribute. We can't just go ahead and divide through by that negative 5. Example number 2, we're going to follow the same steps here. We're going to distribute first. I see a 2 to distribute, and it actually is a negative 2. So I'm going to bring down my 3x that was out front. Negative 2 times 3x will give me negative 6x, and negative 2 times 3 will give me a negative 6. Over on the other side of the equal sign, I have a negative 33. Here I have 3x and a negative 6x. Together they give me negative 3x, and I bring down my minus 6. And this is equal to negative 33. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Bring down my negative 3x on the right. Negative 33 plus 6 will give me a negative 27. Divide through by negative 3. And this gives me x is equal to 9. In example number 3, I'm going to have you go ahead and do this one. You're going to distribute this 4 first, and then combine your like terms, and then add, subtract, and then multiply, divide. So I'm bringing down my 4x. You have a positive 4 times a negative 3x, and a positive 4 times a negative 4. Combining your like terms together is equal to 48. Add 16 to both sides. So negative 8x is going to be equal to 64. Divide through by negative 8, and you get x equals negative 8. Go ahead, take a look at example number 4. Solve this equation as well. So distributing your 2, you're going to have a negative 5x out front. It's a positive 2, so plus 8x plus 6 equals negative 27. Combine your like terms together. Subtract the 6 on both sides. So I get 3x equals a negative 33. Divide through by 3, and we get x equals negative 11 for this example. Example 5, I'm going to have you go ahead and solve this one as well. Be careful when you're distributing here, you actually have a negative. All right, so this 18 stays over here. The negative 3x comes down. You get a positive 4x and a positive 8. Combining your like terms together, negative 3x plus 4x is just x plus 8 equals 18. This is really now like a one-step equation. We just have to subtract that 8, and 18 minus 8 is 10. In number 6, this one's a doozy. Make sure you distribute first, then combine your like terms. All right, distributing first, a fourth of 20 is going to be 5x. A fourth of 16 is a positive 4, plus a 4x minus a 7 is equal to a 15. Combine your x's together, so I get 9x, and a positive 4 and a negative 7 will give me a negative 3. This is going to be equal to 15. Add 3 to both sides. and we get 9x is equal to 18. Divide through by 9, and we get x equals 2. All right, and that wraps it up for this lesson.